Benvinguts i benvingudes a l'auditori de la UPC. En breus moments començarà l'acte. Us preguem que desconnecteu o silencieu els vostres mòbils i estigueu atents a les següents consignes en cas d'emergència. Sereu informats d'una emergència per mitjà del sistema de megafonia. També podeu rebre un avís per mitjà de l'alarma d'incendi de l'edifici o per part del personal de la UPC. En cas d'evacuació, dirigiu-vos a la sortida més propera. Seguiu el recorregut d'evacuació que trobareu senyalitzat. Aneu al punt de reunió, que es troba a la plaça Eusebi Güell. Fixeu-vos-hi, hi ha 4 sortides d'emergència des de la platea i l'escenari. Fixeu-vos-hi, hi ha 2 sortides d'evacuació des de l'amfiteatre que condueixen a 3 possibles recorreguts d'evacuació. Les persones amb mobilitat reduïda se situaran a la zona esquerra de la platea, des d'on hi ha un recorregut d'evacuació accessible. En cas que algú es trobi malament, aviseu al punt d'atenció sanitària. Per a qualsevol incidència, aviseu la cabina de control. Moltes gràcies per la vostra atenció.
Okay, I think we can start for the sake of keeping on time. So, good morning, everyone. Raquel, perdona una pregunta. Vale, okay, now it's good. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this new academic year at UPC in the doctoral school. We are really happy to count with all of you here to welcome to UPC and to the doctoral school. And this day is made specially for you, the new cohort of PhD students in our university. Well, my name is Cristina Canal. I am the head of the doctoral school. And, well, this is briefly the program. You all received it. The program today is divided in 2 parts. The first part, the aim of this first part is to show you all the services and things that are available for you at UPC, that you know some contact points for each of these different services that can be useful for you throughout the thesis. In the second part, it's a slightly more formal part, but it will not be boring because you will see, usually very formal things tend to be boring. That's not the idea of the session, because we count with the presence of the Counselor for Research and Universities, who you might think is a politician, but in fact, she's one of the top researchers in our country, and she's coming to give you a motivational speech. So I think this can be very interesting. And then we have the award ceremony for the extraordinary doctoral awards for the people who already finished and made outstanding PhD theses, probably like most of you, so maybe we will see you there in a few years. So, as I was saying, we are really, really happy and honored to have you here at UPC. You are the center of our universe in the doctoral school. And I would like to introduce a bit who we are at the doctoral school, right? So at UPC, in terms of doctorate, we have 5 different knowledge fields that host 45 different doctoral programs. Each of you is in one of these doctoral programs. We have over 2,000 enrolled students, and each year we have over 300 defended theses, so 300 new doctors from UPC come out every day. Physically, we are very close to this building at Campus North, in the Nexus building here. So now we are in Vertex, and yeah, and the school is a bit closer to the diagonal. So these are the 5 different research fields that we count with at UPC for doctorate. We have architecture, urbanism, and construction. We have civil and environmental engineering. We have industrial engineering, information and communications technology engineering, and also sciences. So your doctoral program is within one of these areas. So if you probably, I'm sure that you at some point enter the website of the doctoral school and you want to find yours, you go to this area and then you can locate your program very easily. So who we are. This is most of the team of the doctoral school, well, including the rector. And we are some academics and administrative support team. So in the academic management team, we are 3 professors of UPC. And at the administrative support team in the school, we are about 8 people that we are working to provide a good service, a good offer of training courses for you, among other things. So this is in the central building of the doctoral school. But you know that at UPC we have different campuses. You are all in different schools. So we have a contact person for management in your school or campus. So you know that you have one person of reference for your doctoral program. If you are at EEB, you have one. If you are in the faculty of Caminos, you have another, or in Castelldefels. So you have a reference person that can solve your doubts if you have them regarding anything related to your PhD. So, of course, you are on a journey for your PhD, and you are within a doctoral program. This doctoral program has, and you have also your PhD supervisors. Your PhD supervisors will accompany you and guide you throughout the whole thesis. And they belong also to this doctoral program. They probably suggested you, okay, you should enroll in materials science program or in civil engineering program. As I was mentioned, well, there is a program coordinator that can also be, so this is an academic, this is a professor that is also the reference person from your doctoral program, and that is in close contact to the person in administration that I was mentioning that you can refer to if you have doubts. So there is, within your doctoral program, these 2 figures, the doctoral program coordinator and the managing support staff in your campus. So you have these 2 references also. And we have an organ that is the doctoral council. You will have explanation later in the doctoral council, but you are represented as PhD students in this doctoral council organ. So what do we do? You say, okay, I'm going to do a PhD, but what does the doctoral school do? We work on many things that can be of interest. We are responsible for the different doctoral programs, and that we have an academic offer that is reasonable. If there is eventually a new area appearing, there might be a new doctoral program arising, for example, so we take care of this. We worked a lot on internationalization. Many of you, most of you, in fact, are international PhD students. And we also strive for you to be able to, or to help you to make PhD stages abroad. So we have a small program that is funding mobility, so you can have the international mention. We also work on transfer to society and entrepreneurship. So we have transversal training courses for those of you that are interested in transferring what you are finding during your PhD to a company, making a patent. So we have tools, we have courses to guide you and learn about all this. Of course, the PhD is a long path, and you will be alone doing your research, but it's important that you are also well integrated with the people around you. So we are concerned also on your socialization and well-being. You will be here 3 or 4 years. There are periods that are stressful. So we organize different events, like today. The idea of today is that you can also meet some of your peers, find people that will be around you, and try to make friends. This always helps being happier during the time. And of course, we work on other things, especially the transversal training courses, which are, I think, very interesting for you, that we have here. You can find them on the website of doctorat.upc.edu, but these courses are offered throughout the year. You can choose between one of them or many of them to complement your training. So maybe we have trainings in specific research methods, for example, in statistics. We have courses on statistics that might be useful for most of you. We have also training transferable skills like team leadership, management, communication, conflict resolution. There's also language courses. There's also activities focused, as I was mentioning right now, on personal skills and well-being. We have a specific line that is related to the development of the doctoral thesis on how to organize the information or how to work with reference managers when you write a paper. It's easier if you have a reference manager to introduce the 100 references you might have read. On scientific publication, now there's a course starting next week on how to write a paper. It's a hands-on. Well, we have many, many different courses that can be of interest. There's also courses on open science. This is something that I would say is rather new, but is coming up. All the scientific focus now is put on open science and citizen science. So we have courses to explain or to teach how to work and how to operate on open science. There's also a line for those of you who might be interested later in teaching, which is on teaching on supervision, the INIDOC program. And we have also things on career development, maybe when you are a bit more advanced. So by the 3rd year, eventually you might start thinking on what will I do after. So we have, different possibilities. We have also training for funding and preparation of research proposals. Now this may seem very far away, but also when you are heading by the end of your thesis, you might start thinking of applying for postdoctoral fellowships eventually. So there is a hands-on course that can help you with that. And we have, as I was mentioning, on innovation and creativity and valorization of research results and entrepreneurship. Maybe some of you find discovery that can change something very important, and a better antenna for the mobile phones, or a better algorithm for working different things. And these might be susceptible of being protected and bringing it to the market. So these are some points. So I will not be longer. We have a video that just to finish. sorry. So now we'll move on to the training session where as I was mentioning, there will be people from different services from UPC that are available for you. So I would like to, so this is the list of people who will be coming out. I would like to introduce first Mrs. Berenice Martin from the International Relations Office.
Good morning to everyone. Benvinguts, benvingudes, welcome. Bienvenidos y bienvenidas. I'm very happy to be here again one more year, welcoming all UPC international students. And we'll briefly try to explain you how we can help you from the UPC International Relations Office, and in particular from the UPC International Students Office. Our office is there to inform you about many things, not only about UPC services, but anything in general for your stay. Also to solve your doubts, and also very especially, to try to help you and assess you throughout the legal procedures that you will have to perform for your stay. We are here for you in any moment of your stay, not only now at the very beginning, but also in all the rest of the years, and also if any situation arises, not only for your questions or doubts. Sometimes we don't know who we should address or what we should do, and you can contact us directly. You have general information in our website, like, for example, information about accommodation or information about insurance that you will need for your stay. More particularly about insurance, please pay attention to these basic things. Keep the contact details of your insurance with you. Check what is covered, because many times we buy an insurance and we don't check what is covered. And always carry with you the document of your insurance for whatever situation. If not, the hospital services would try to charge you. And of course, check where is the nearest hospital to your house. Don't wait that your flatmate gets flu. Yes, don't wait to be very sick in bed to check which was the telephone number that I should ring to check my insurance. As I was telling you, we are here to support you and inform you for your legal procedures, not only at your arrival, but also for the renewal of your legal permit to stay in Spain. This permit takes a bit long to renew, quite some weeks, and from our office, we try to translate into Spanish and English into comprehensive, intelligible, understandable instructions. We digest them from the general instructions from the legal authorities, and we assess you for the different steps of the procedure. In our website, you have a whole section dedicated to this part of the procedure. Not now, maybe in summer. And we also send you some reminder in spring, summer. You also have some interesting videos to check before reading the very boring information about the legal procedures. One tip now, without a hurry, is that you obtain your digital certificate for your stay in order to try to perform some of the legal procedures online comfortably from your computer, instead of asking and applying for appointments to go to physical offices. For all those students that are that you are bringing with you your relatives, we can also assess you for the legal procedures for your relatives, right? It's very important that you pay attention, especially for the economic information, the requirements for the economic means to justify for your stay. Many of you, during your stay here to develop your doctorate in UPC, you may consider making abroad some stay and even obtaining the international PhD mention of UPC. Some of the grants that we are opening now, the calls are the Erasmus Plus grants. You will see them in our website, but of course, if you have an FPI grant, there is like a window for which you can also apply for some travel grants. And if you become a staff member in UPC, there are also grants to make traineeship stays or teaching stays abroad. Very important if you hold a non-EU nationality is that you should pay attention because when you are here in Spain, your legal permit is to stay here in Spain. You can travel and go to other EU countries up to 3 months with your T card, but only for this time. And if your card is under renewal, you're not allowed to leave because if not, you could not go back. Okay, so there is an additional procedure to perform, and if you don't go to your home country, you should ask also to the consulate of the country where you would like to go. Even in some cases, just make all the questions before buying tickets. This is very important. If you're about to work in UPC or you're being hired because your scholarship requests to be higher, there is a section of our international office especially dedicated to researchers being hired by UPC, and they will assess you according to your case. This is very specific because this is tailor-made depending on the situation, the type of contract, and so on. Some of you may be hired later, and please pay attention that there are withholds in your salaries. For any details, you will have to contact the UPC Human Resources Department. And in addition, there is a yearly tax declaration to make. Yes, we have to pay taxes once a year. Maybe get refunded if we are lucky, but many times pay a little bit more. And there is a special national agency called Agencia Tributaria that can inform you for this. Apart from this, it's very important that you obtain a tax residence certificate, because if not, in any further situation, you could be applied taxes as non-resident from the beginning for a certain number of months. While if you hold this certificate, you will have the regular, normal taxing situations. I have just depicted some brief information that can be a glimpse of what can be of use to you, but we are here for you for any question of doubt that is not academic, anything that come out. Of course, where can I buy a beach towel? Now you can Google it, but we are here for you in any moment of your stay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Berenice. Let me, I saw that there was a QR appearing. Although we will send you the presentations, they will be available for you. I would strongly suggest that when there's a QR appearing, click on it if it's of, because probably it's for your best interest. So moving on, now I would like to introduce Carme Fanoll, who is from the unit of culture from UPC.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the UPC. As Cristina told you, we are here also to provide some socialization or well-being tips. And only for a few moments, I would like you to share some services that you will be in order to use. Viu la UPC could be translated as experience UPC or maybe live the UPC experience. So, the first slide is about UPCRs, that is a program that brings arts and culture to the university community. The activities include cycles, clubs like reading clubs, writing clubs, theater, and cultural itineraries for diverse interests. It connects the UPC with the cultural life of the city. So we foster collaborations with museums, cinemas, theaters, and so on. The program aims to restore in-person interaction through cultural engagement. UPCRs promotes cultural research, innovation, and the creation of networks. We have support provided for cultural and humanities training for students. So if you are interested in cinema, theater, reading, arts, please don't hesitate to contact us. We are here, so please you can follow us at X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We have a website with a week agenda, and we will love to invite you to all our activities. Most of them are for free, so it's very easy to join us. Please try to follow and be and welcome abroad. We have also an invitation to visit the Ideal immersive cinema experience at Poblenou. You will receive an email from the doctoral school inviting only for you, so please come and try our services and socialize with your new mates. We hope that it will be a good experience. But above all, there's also a lot of associations at UPC are for students and staff through voluntary collaboration. Most of them are also for free or for a very low amount of money. The purpose is to share knowledge, organize activities, or pool resources. Participation fosters personal development and builds strong communities. These groups provide a platform for leadership and social connections. The members work together on both temporary and long-term projects. There are activities for all course or only for a week. Musical groups offer opportunities for creative expression and performance. We have an orchestra here, 5 chorals. There are a lot of music groups to join. Please have we have a lot of, you can see the Castellers, the Human Towers building, so you can join them. We have 7 Castellers teams, so you can try here. We have also a website, or if you Google it, it's easy to find them. Okay, and if you love sports, we have also, we provide sports facilities, activities and competitions. It serves the university community and surroundings groups, and its mission is to promote health, education and personal development. Sports are used as a tool for physical and mental well-being. So, don't hesitate to come to all of our campuses have facilities in sports. If you want to follow some of the nets, sports, UPC, okay? So, okay, another important topic is the emotional well-being and mental health. UPC prioritizes the emotional well-being of its students and staff. Resources and tools are available to support mental health management. We have a psychological support for free services, and we provide professional counseling. So also don't hesitate to come. The university encourages fulfilling academic and social life, as I mentioned. We have also, we promote programs foster inclusively and interaction within the community. We promote workshops focused on building resilience and emotional intelligence. So if you are interested in those topics, please follow us. We have a OASIS program called, but Inclusio UPC is the main idea, or you have to follow Inclusio UPC in the net. If you want to be a volunteer, we have also a volunteer program. And, well, the Baltic, we call it Baltic, like in the slide, connects students with community organizations, and our volunteers contribute by sharing knowledge and skills with social projects. Opportunities are open to students and staff across different disciplines. For instance, this weekend we've been in Valencia, you know, with our volunteers to help people to restore the disgrace that they suffered a month ago. We collaborate with NGOs and we have several programs to join. And well, you can follow all the possibilities here, Voluntariat UPC, or Canvi el Món, Change the World with UPC. And last slide is also to inform you that we have an equality and anti-harassment program called PRO, like stop, and it's addressed for discrimination and harassment at UPC. We have protocol guides to prevention and response to such incidents. Victims can file reports through a secure mailbox on the PRO website. So it's very clear and you can be aware of it at several homepages at UPC. Awareness campaigns educate the community on identifying harassment. Training sessions equip staff and students to address incidents effectively. And so don't hesitate also to ask us, and we are here to help you in also these moments. So thank you very much. This is only some moments, and please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Karma. So you have just seen there's many different opportunities for you. So take advantage of that in arts, in sports. You know, they say, mens sana in corpore sano. You will be exercising your brain a lot during these years. But as I was mentioning, it can be a stressful, there can be stressful moments during the thesis. So I strongly suggest you to make sports, socialize, have friends. So yeah, take advantage of this opportunity. And with this, yeah, I would like to introduce Ana Rovira from the Library Services at UPC.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Cristina. So I'm Ana Rovira from the UPC Libraries, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to use as much as you need the library services of your university. So first of all, welcome to UPC, and also welcome to UPC Libraries. So the first thing that I want to mention is that we have, as all libraries and a lot of services and units, of course, a web page. The web page is called Bibliotecnica. It's a combination of the name Biblioteca, library in Catalan, and also Politecnica, as we are at UPC. So in the website, of course, you will have all the resources and services that we offer to you. Apart from the website, it's important for you to know that the university has a student app, an app in which you can also contact with the library in order to know the opening hours of the different libraries, and also to book books and also study spaces or working spaces for you. There are 12 libraries at UPC in the 9 campus of the university, and you can use all of them. It's not, if you are doing a doctoral program in architecture, you are not allowed only to go to the architecture library. You can go to the 12 libraries. So, as all university libraries, we offer a big number of services for doctoral students. You are in the medium of being undergraduate students and researchers, so I think that you can use the services that we offer to both the students and also to researchers. So what I wanted to say is that you really have a lot of resources to use, and I'm going to focus on the main ones that I think that can interest to you. So the first one is the catalog, the research tool that we have in order that all users can find the documents and publications that they need. We named this tool Discovery UPC, and from this tool, which you can find here the URL, and also, of course, in the website, you will be able to find all the resources we have on the library, the physical ones, also the electronic ones, and also all the scientific and academic output that the researchers and the previous doctoral students and other students have elaborating during their studies. So all the articles researchers publish, your director will have published a lot of papers, so you can get to them, for example, using this discovery tool. Sorry. A very important thing for this is that as being a library, we have to subscribe, to pay for a lot of scientific information, and even if it's on digital format, you have to install a button that we call eBib in the browser of your laptop or your computer in order to get to the full text of the article. Because if you don't install the button, and when you are just at the very end of your search and and click in the button, you will find a notice that the publisher will say, oh, you have to pay for this article, or you have to contact or use your credentials. So installing this eBib button is very important in order to get to the full text of a lot of information. Another thing to consider is that if you use your mobile to look for articles and books and so on, you also have to install this eBib button, but as a favorite in your device. So you have to follow the instructions that you will find in this page in order to know how to install this button and to get to the full content of the published articles. Now I'm going to tell you an important thing which is quite new, and I'm sure that it can be very interesting for you. I'm sure that you will have to read a lot to manage a lot of scientific articles, and as other university libraries, we are not able to buy everything. So sometimes you will have to find articles or books in other universities. Since the starting of this academic year, we have put in place a new service that, using also the discovery, the catalog, you will be able to find also and to ask for the books that are in the other Catalan university libraries for free. You will not have to pay for this. The previous years you had to pay, but now it's for free. And also at the international scope. If you do a search in the discovery You can choose the level of your search. You can choose, I'm going to look for at UPC libraries, but also at the Catalan level or at the international level. And if you arrive to the international level, you can ask for the article, and in between 24 and 48 hours, you will receive in your email address the article for free. And this was not like this the previous year, so you can really take profit of this. You don't have to go to a pirate web page like Cube or things like that. You can ask for everything in the proper way. Another important thing to know for you is that the institutional repository is the place where we put all the scientific output of the university, the academic output, all the papers that have been written have been published by the researchers, the theses that have been defended previously, and so on, are all hosted in the UPC Commons, which is the institutional repository. So remember this name, UPC Commons, because in the future also your thesis will be published in this repository. As the director of the doctoral school was mentioned, now there is an important thing or an important topic to know, and this is the open science. This is like a movement or like a new way of doing research at the international level. In all universities, there are efforts to do in order to publish in open access, also in order to share data, also to do the research using or transparency, integrity of research, and permitting the reuse of information, and this is called open science. So UPC is also committed with open science, and because of that, if you have a look in the academic regulation of the School of Doctoral, you will see that when you will have to submit or to present your research plan, you will have to do a data management plan. So from the library, you can be helped to know how to do a management plan. We offer you templates, and we also offer you training workshops in order that you know how to structure and to present the data management plan that need to be presented in your research plan. And of course, you can always contact with the libraries if you have a specific doubt using our email contact. We give training sessions not only for how to do our data management plan and also to know more about how is open science or how can I do open science as a doctoral students, but we also, from the library, as it has been mentioned before, we offer other training sessions regarding the organize of the information, also where to publish and to know the very good journals in a specific area, how to prepare your manuscript, and so on. So you can enroll to do these courses using the doctoral school website and also using the library website. And finally, just to finish, as doctoral students, you will receive one per month a newsletter in which we try to inform you to specific things regarding information, publications, data management, or some tips and tips regarding things that we consider are important from you from the library. You will use, of course, the libraries directly, but also the library will work with for you. For example, when you will have to fulfill the DAC the document of the activity of your doctoral studies. The library will review the bibliographic references that you will put in this document in order that it will publish in a website which is called Futur, that will show also the activity that you will be doing in the following years in your doctoral studies. Also, at the end of your journey as a doctoral students, when you will have defended the thesis will be published in open access in UPC Commons, in the institutional repository. And just for finish, we also offer you an activity that we call Research Cafe, and we organize 1 or 2 Research Cafe for each trimester. And the idea of the Research Cafe is to be informal meetings that we facilitate from the library to learn and to share your research with other doctoral students or also academics which are working in the same topic as yours. So it's an opportunity to share and to make visible what you are doing during your project of thesis. And this is all. If you have questions, don't hesitate to use our email contact, and we will answer all your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is not working now? This is not working? Okay. I'm coming here. Thank you very much, Anna. I am sure that as you are in the beginning of the thesis, you are reading a lot of papers, a lot, so you are already using probably EBIB and many of the things that Anna was explaining. And now we're moving on to our next speaker, which is Jordi Pujol from the Language Services at UPC.
Hello, good morning. Hola, bon dia. Hola, buenos días. Benvinguts, bienvenidos, welcome. My name is Jordi, and I work at the Language Service here at the UPC. Okay. At the Language Service, we provide courses and resources for learning languages and certifying language skills. We also provide courses and workshops on language and culture, and we provide support for academic writing, oral presentations, and teaching in English. The aim of my presentation is to make you familiar with the use of languages at the UPC, and I will also say a few words about our culture, and will introduce you to some of the services and courses we provide. Does everybody have this thing there? Yep, more or less? Okay, let's continue. What languages do we speak? Catalan is the language of Catalonia and the university, and it is used regularly in teaching and in everyday life. Spanish and English are also used in teaching, work, and communication. How much are Catalan, Spanish, and English used on bachelor's degrees? On bachelor's degrees, about 70% of classes are taught in Catalan, 20% in Spanish, and 10% in English, although these figures vary between UPC and degree schools. Are professors and students free to choose the language they speak in? Yes, professors can choose to communicate in either of the two Catalan languages, Catalan or Spanish, just as students can. Some professors may use English in class as well. What about doctoral degrees? On doctoral degrees, the use of languages is not governed by specific regulations, given that there is no associated teaching and interactions are generally of a personal nature. This video summarizes pretty much everything you need to know about the use of languages at our university.
Languages at the UPC. At the UPC, classes are taught in Catalan, Spanish and English. Catalan is the main language on bachelor's degrees. You have the right to know the language of instruction of each subject. Find out the language of instruction before you enroll. You have the right to be taught in the stated language. It's everybody's responsibility to respect the language of instruction. You have the right to use Catalan and Spanish orally and in writing. Whether the class is in Catalan or Spanish, you have the right to use either of the two official languages. And English, if you come to an agreement with the professor. And to make it easy, we offer you a cultural and language reception program. It includes mentoring, leisure activities, and Catalan courses. Welcome to the UPC.
Okay, let's continue. Is Catalan difficult to understand? Well, Catalan comes from Latin, just like French, Spanish, just like Spanish, French, Italian. How many of you are from Italy, for instance? Okay, French, South America. So, si jo parlo a poc, el 90% de les coses que us dic, que us explico, les podeu entendre? Yes? Okay, raise your hand. Okay, good. So you know Catalan now. This means that if you already speak a Romance language, that will help you to understand it, to understand Catalan, because you have a passive knowledge of Catalan. Because the rules, the grammar, the structure, the vocabulary are very, very similar, okay? Experts say that these languages, they all share about 90% of the same words. There might be slightly differences, but if you know one of these, it's easy. Can I take a Catalan or a Spanish course? Yes, all international students who come to Catalan universities have the right to take a Catalan course at a very low fee. In fact, it is free of charge for you. And Spanish, English, and other languages courses are also available. For those of you who have just arrived here we offer this initial course that will allow you to learn basic expressions for introducing yourself, saying hello, or just asking for directions. And it is free of charge, as I said. Do we organize writing skills courses for doctoral students? Yes, again, we offer courses on presenting in English and writing research articles in English. And we also organize online sessions in Spanish on tools for writing your thesis. And how can I get more information and register? On our website, you have the link here, and it is also on the papers we gave you. And I think that's all. Thank you for your attention, and welcome to the APC.
Thank you very much, Jordi. That was very clear. And now let me welcome the last speaker of this session, who is Ximena Silva, from the Service of, for the Management of Innovation Service of UPC. So thank you.
Wow. A lot of people today. Good morning, everyone. Quick history regarding Catalan. I've been here in Catalonia for 10 years, and curiously, I learned it from hear it. And now in this course, it's really hard to put the theory on the languages, so I aim you to also learn this amazing language. So my name is Ximena Silva, and I work here at the UPC since this January 2024. And I'm part of the team of valorization and entrepreneurship that we offer, and this is a service that it's made for you all to have this view of how you can push forward your ideas into the market, right? So this is the agenda. So for you to locate, we have a big department, which is transfer and research and transfer, and we are under the innovation unit. I'm going to talk to you about these two sides, like this is valorization and tech transfer, and also entrepreneurship. From the date 2023, this has been the number that we have been having of created startups and spin-off here at the UPC. We have been working with more than 400 funded companies nowadays. We have first one, the spin-off, that it's the startup, I'm sorry, that it's 2/3 of the quantity, total quantity that we have been made it here at the UPC. And after this, we have the spin-off. Maybe you know Fractus, this company. Okay, this technology was emerged and was born here at the UPC. If you remember back in the days, you have the cell phones, and this cell phone has this wire that you have to take it out to make a call, and they develop a system where you can have the chip and you no longer will be using this antenna. And this is what you all have in your phones right now. This is UPC technology that has becoming a spin-off. We have two types of I'm not going to get deep in here. If you want to know more, you can write us anytime. We have two types of technology here, and we'll talk about the push and the pull opportunities, what does it mean? From your investigations, what we do is try to find where that investigation can go into the market, or backwards, how a technology is find a problem who can be solved through technology. We manage from the beginning until the end of the development of these investigations in order to take them out into the market. The first concept that you need to know is that every investigation that is made inside the UPC belongs to the UPC. What does it mean? That if you made something, you need to spread the word on what you have investigated. And after that, if you want, we can make the deals of make a spin-off, company, or what we can do to take into valorization all these investigations, right? As I see, maybe we have here architecture, sciences, and everything, and take into account that we manage all the topics. And later I will show you, but we have a big team that works on this. So if maybe you want to go to the first step, that is the disclosure, you can go directly to the RDI website, and you can find the web of new innovation to submit yours. This is the levels that we work in valorization. So we start from the basic observations until the launch of the market and making here the valorization. We have also the networks for valorization. We work with several institutions around Catalonia on these terms. For instance, we have the BlueNet Cat that we have actually one call for this week. If you are working in topics of water or oceans, you can work with these networks. Also, if you are working with 3D printing or fabricación aditiva, maybe you can work also with the CHARFA, which is the organization that aims to develop products in different technologies, 4.0 technologies. agro and all that. So we have these two sides, that it's licensing and spin-off. Maybe you will receive this deck, so you will have more details on these two lines. And to not take more time, I will talk now about the entrepreneurship part. What's the difference between what I just talked and what I'm going to talk about? What I just talked is something that becomes from an investigation. So this is having an intellectual property, right? Now, the difference with a startup is that the idea belongs to you, which means I'm thinking that maybe I can solve this problem that I saw in my society or in my apartment, or whatever. So if you have an idea and you want to become a company, we provide you with all the tools and services that you will need to make that idea become to reality. Actually, our claim is that, from idea to reality. Yeah, I like this slide because it shows that we work in all the types of person that we have here at the UPC. So we have the researchers, the students, and also the alumni, and some external people working outside of the UPC. At the end, what we talk, it's about talent UPC. We have this program that it's called Empreno UPC. What is it? It's an acceleration, pre-acceleration, incubation, pre-incubation. It's all-in-one service that it's offered, and it's made for you to take advantage of it. How it works. We have this program that it's flexible and it's personalized. It's a program that outside, I can say it for myself because I came from a background of a startup and private startup systems, and these programs are really, really expensive, and sometimes they take shares or something from your creation and company, and here it's completely free. The good part also is that it's, as I said before, it's personalized. So depending on your idea, we will basically go hand in hand with you to make your ideas become reality. We have personal mentoring, training, and companion. We also have co-working spaces. We have here actually one in the Campus North, in Campus Besós, Castelldefels. We have around campuses of UPC. And here in the entrepreneurship part, what we do is to, based on these three main concepts of an entrepreneurship, which is design thinking, lean startup, and MVP. We aim every idea to become reality, pushing them, or pushing you in this case, to have a product or at least a minimum prototype. These are the stages that we work on, that it's basically the whole line of an entrepreneurship. And we have also programs. We have this industrial tech that it's meant for hardware and hardware-based ideas, when we give you all the formation in business and also in 3D printing, for instance, all the classes that you will need to become that idea reality. We have Ciencia al Mercat, that it's a program we work, UPC and Pompeu Fabra also, and Universitat de Barcelona, in working with taking these technologies and investigations up into the market. So it's also a really nice program. And we have this Explorer program that it's specifically for brand new ideas. So my invitation for you today is to join to this program of Explorer. Even though you have an idea or you don't, you will learn how to give shape to an idea, or to know if an idea is good or if it's not, and what does it have a good idea. So what we offer is money helping on these startups. We offer around 90,000 euros yearly in order to help all these startups. And the co-working spaces that are really nice. We just opened last year here, the Besós campus, Campus North, that it's over here, it's completely full. You will see a lot of entrepreneurs working, giving it all. By Llobregat too. And also we have this agreement, and we work really close with ESABIC. It's amazing. I talked really good with the with the, I don't know what's the role, Elizabeth Vilches. And she's really passionate about sciences of the NASA, so it's nice to see how a technology that has been created to work on the space can be implemented on the Earth. It's really nice to see all the projects that are working here. We are also with them. Different spaces that we have for incubation. And this is the whole team. Actually, the team is this side of here, which is the entrepreneurship technicians, which it's my role. And then we have a huge pool of mentors. We have experts, we have specific mentors for leadership, finances, in general, leadership, legal, marketing, anything that you will need to be an entrepreneur, we will have it for you for free and personalized. So this is the whole network. Also, we don't work only inside of the UPC, but we try to connect you with all the churches that we have, all the networks that we have around, even though Barcelona Activa, ESADE, Norsken, etc. These are examples of startups created here at UPC. We are going into the news too. And that's it. I don't want to take you more time, but take into account that we also have presence on programs as World Mobile Congress, Deep Tech Node, and etc. So my invitation for you is to write us and aim to be an entrepreneur. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ximena. I think this was really interesting. Maybe this seems very far away from you thinking of making your own company or making a patent, but I would say, as you will see in the next talk, you are working on the edge of science and technology. So you might make very well new discoveries. So be attentive, because in general, in academia, we have the pressure of publishing. No, I want to make a paper, I want to publish. Before sending a paper, consider if what you are doing is very novel, maybe it's not patented elsewhere, and you can make a patent first. But if you already told someone about that discovery, you sent it for a conference, an abstract conference, then you can no longer make the patent. So just be aware, and if you have doubts, of course, you can contact their service, they can help you with this. And we are now moving on to the doctoral council, where we have a video for you, because you can become part of the doctoral council. And so this is for you. Let me see if this works, if I click. No? Now.
Hi everyone, buon dia a tothom. I'm Matteo Rioli and I'm a PhD student in the UPC in the Department of Chemical Engineering. Currently, I'm a member of the Doctorate Student Council, and today I would like to present to you shortly what this council is. The Doctorate Students Council, al Consell dels Doctorands i Doctorandes de la UPC, is a body of the doctoral school of our university that collaborates very closely with the director and all the administrative section of the school. Since the latest regulation approved in the past July, every PhD program has a representation in the council. This is quite important because being part of this council means that every PhD student with their representative can have a word in the decision-making process of the board. Those are just some of the activities that the council can have. To act as a representative and means of expressing the aspiration and request and proposal of the doctorate candidate, to constitute a framework for developing, discussing, and defining the position of the UPC's doctoral candidates, to issue reports on any concerns relative to the university activities, and to make public agreements reached with decision taken by its representative. in accordance with the prevailing regulamentations. Those are just some and few of the possibilities and activities provided by the Council. Here, what I can show you is the web page of the UPC Doctoral School, in which there's a section dedicated to the Doctoral Council. And I kindly ask you to take a look on the website to keep informed over the activities. Now what? In the next few weeks, new election will be open to allow each program to select and vote their candidate to be represented into the council. You can follow the page for all the information, the calendar and the candidates. My suggestion here, my dear suggestion here, is to look around in your research group, in your building, in your campus, in your department, everywhere, and find and choose valid candidates, valid PhD students that will represent you inside the council. Most important, I'm asking you to participate in the election, to vote, to have your voice inside the council and inside all the governing bodies of our university. This is quite important. Follow the QR code showed here and keep informed.
Okay, well, so that was the message from Matteo, who is now the president of the council. As he said, the objective of the council is to have voice so that the PhD students, you have a voice and can tell us if there's anything, and also organizing events and things for you. So I really encourage you, as Matteo was saying, the elections will open soon. Please scan this code. Here you have the access to where you can, right now you can propose yourselves to be in the council. I think it's really interesting. And here you will be able also to follow the process of the elections and the voting when it comes, because you all have a vote in there. So yeah, I really encourage you to participate. And with this, we move on to the next and the last, nearly last part of this section of the day, which will be given by Luis Joffre, who is the academic secretary of our doctoral school and is, of course, a professor at UPC, and he will describe what is the PhD and the value of research and innovation. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Christina. So let's move on with the next kind of a small presentation. So most of you are starting the PhD, so maybe thinking, why I'm doing this, right? So this is a very legit question at this point, but trust me, the process is worth doing it, and at the end of this process, in 3-4 years, most of you will have a completely different life and a completely different perspective of type of jobs that you can apply for, and it's worth it. So what's the idea of this presentation? Is to somehow summarize a little bit the process of a PhD. Okay, so So what's a PhD? Well, the PhD is the last level of education, in terms that most of you have gone through elementary school, high school, and then at some point you decided to go to university and do a bachelor's in some, let's say, STEM type of discipline, and then you said, that's not enough, let's do a master's, and then at some point you say, okay, what I do now? I go directly to a job, or ¿qué pasa? Well, that's why don't use Windows, okay? Use Linux always. That's a good point. It's thinking. Okay. Well, so the idea of this is, why a PhD? Well, a PhD is let's say, the highest level of education you can get from a university, but it's not just that. For a PhD, at least for me, or for most of the people involved in this process, is the opportunity in your life to have time to learn how to think, and to learn how to think independently, and to solve problems. And that's for me, that's the most important thing you will get through this process. the ability to solve very complex problems. Okay? And what do I mean by that? So let's try to, let's say, schematically illustrate what I mean. So imagine that this is the frontier of knowledge. Year 2024, this is what we know in a particular discipline, okay? In energy, it doesn't matter, in materials, whatever. This is the state of the art, okay? You do your primary school, then you go to high school, as I said, bachelor, master's, and then at some point you say, okay, I want to do a PhD, but what does it really mean, a PhD? A PhD is a lot of work, but specifically if we zoom in what a PhD means in the context of the state of the art, is that you will have to read a lot, understand what is the frontier of knowledge, and then at some point decide to develop a new strategy, a new methodology, or analyze a new physics that is not very well known. So that will need a lot of reading, a lot of thinking. So don't be lazy in terms of thinking. Allow time for you to think, not just work, write. Allow some time to think every day, okay? And once you've done the thinking, you've developed a new idea, then you have to focus really hard and try to come up with something that breaks the state of the art. You have to come up with something new that it has not been presented, that it has not been published, a new solution, a new technology, and that, even if it seems, let's say, from a general perspective, it seems a very small thing, this is what science is about. These very small improvements that when we put all of them together, we end up expanding the frontier of knowledge, okay? So don't be shy to propose new ideas and to think. Okay, so you become a PhD whenever you fulfilled this type of objective. Okay, and this can be, of course, in energy sources, in materials, in new therapy if you are working biomedical stuff, okay, or a new theorem if you are working on physics or mathematics, etc. Okay, and for example, we can summarize this idea by quoting. You guys know this guy, no? Albert Einstein. So he, after a lot of work, at some point he said, I have no special talent. I am only a very passionate and curious. Okay, a PhD is about that. It's about being passionate, being curious, work a lot, also enjoy life at the same time, but work a lot and don't be shy to think differently. You guys have to think outside the box and try to come up with new ideas. Okay, and actually another quote from him is that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Okay, we need to somehow think differently, and this will allow us to come up with different solutions and different technologies. Okay, what else? The PhD path. So let's summarize a little bit the PhD path, what will come in the next 3-4 years. So depending if you are doing, let's say, a full-time PhD or a partial-time PhD, I guess that most of you are doing a full-time PhD, the idea is that you have, let's call it 3 + 1, 4 years to complete your work. Okay, 4 years may seem a lot of time, but you will see that it's not that much time. I mean, the idea is that you guys have to somehow start with momentum very fast, because 3-4 years, you will not notice it, and you will be in the 3rd year, and that's when panic comes in. So the idea is try to work, let's say, in a very concise form and try to schedule your days, your weeks, such that you make progress on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, such that by year 4 or before, you are ready to submit your thesis, to defend it, and to, if everything goes well, to successfully become a PhD, okay? That's the full-time PhD duration, and then there is also the possibility of part-time PhD. This is more indicated for people that is already working in industry, and maybe they want to pursue a PhD, and that's what we call a part-time PhD duration, and that's 7 years plus 1, actually 6 + 1, and this +1 is just in case there is something that went wrong, if some medical stuff happened, or if there was something that did not somehow enable you to finish in 7 years. So I repeat, the full-time PhD, 4 years, part-time PhD, 7 years. The extra year is for very, let's say, particular cases. Okay, remember also that by the end of the first year, you will have to present the research plan. What's the research plan? The research plan is kind of a report plus a presentation in which you present more or less the skeleton of your PhD in terms of what is the objective, what is the methodology that you will follow, and what is the different steps that you will take in order to achieve these goals. Okay? Right now also, you will have to do a data plan, which is, this is new from last year. A data plan is, okay, I'm going to generate all this data, and this is how I plan to save it, this is how I plan to disseminate it, etc., etc. And this is becoming very important in this age of data, that some people call it, such that we can reuse data, and that is more open and easier to replicate results. And then by year 4, of course, you will have to deposit your thesis and defend it in a tribunal. Okay? What's the research plan? Well, the research plan is kind of a report plus a presentation, and you will have to somehow state what is the state of the art, the objectives, methodology, work plan, also somehow do a little bit of literature review with references. There is this new document, which is the data management plan, and you have all the instructions in this link. This is new from last year or a couple of years ago. And then there's also a training plan. Part of the PhD, of course, is to come up with new ideas, to somehow push the limits of knowledge, but at the same time is a great opportunity for you to get training in very specific stuff. For example, in the research plan, we will ask you to somehow summarize what is the training plan in terms of conferences, workshops, if you plan to do some tutorials, etc., and also if you plan to do some mobility, some research stay during your PhD. What else? The final part of the PhD process. Well, the last, I would say, 3-4 months are a little bit hectic because there's a lot of stuff to do. So most likely you will have to finish your PhD thesis, and then you will have to submit it. But before doing that, it has to go through some steps in terms of checking the quality. Most likely you will have to ask for external reviews. In some cases, then you will have to do the deposit, so that takes 10 days, then you will have to somehow organize the tribunal, etc., etc. So this is a slide is just to summarize that once you have the thesis ready, it doesn't mean that you can defend the next day. So allow you 3-4 months to finalize the process of submitting your thesis, doing the defense, etc., because there are some bureaucracy that needs to be taken, and it takes some time. Of course, all this information is available in the website, and most likely this will become important by year 3 and 4. But just keep in mind that finalizing the PhD thesis, it requires 3-4 months once you are ready to submit. Okay. And what else? Well, organization and talking to your supervisor is very important. Here there is a cartoon that somehow explains this relationship between the student and the supervisor. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. I think that the best solution is to talk a lot. Try to talk a lot with your supervisor, agree on some terms, agree how to move forward, and at some point, everyone wants the PhD to be successful, so the supervisor will align also with your interests, but it's important that you have a fluent, let's say, a fluent conversation with your supervisor every now and then, every week, every month. It's up to you guys. Okay? And of course, be ready to work hard. There is a lot of work to be done. As I said, 4 years seems a lot of time, but it's not so much time. So I encourage all of you to be organized, to plan ahead, and to try to come up with a skeleton that allows you to understand how much time it will take each of the tasks that you plan to do in order to come up with a novelty and to defend the PhD thesis. And also, well, this quote, very famous, is 90% of hard work and the 10% of inspiration. But hard work is important. Working every day on the thesis is very important. What else? Well, as I said, planning with the supervisor is very important. So for example, in my case, with my PhD students, we have a group meeting every week in which we discuss ideas, but then I plan meetings with every one of the PhD students separately, and we do that every week in my case, but it's up to you to talk to your supervisor to organize weekly meetings or monthly meetings. Maybe a weekly meeting is a good idea, but it's important to somehow state it at the beginning of your PhD and keep it doing it even by the end of the PhD, and of course allow some time on the weekends to relax and to enjoy Barcelona or Terrassa or Manresa or whatever. But try to organize the PhD meetings with your supervisor such that then you can benefit from her knowledge, and it's easier to move forward if you do that. What else? So the PhD, in addition to somehow getting training in very specific stuff like mathematics or physics or chemistry, it is also a very good time to improve your skills in a very, let's say, broad transversal skills. For example, in writing and publishing. That's, for me, is one of the best things that you will get a chance to improve. How to communicate, how to write, that's very important. Even if you stay in academia or not, being able to communicate, to write well, that's very important. It will allow you guys to move forward in whatever job you take. Also, it's a very good time to start being independent. Independent doesn't mean that I'm closed in my room and I don't talk to anybody. No, independent thinking means that you are able to somehow decompose a complex problem in small problems, and then being able to solve some of these parts, and being able to go and ask somebody, hey, how would you do this, how you would do that? But you need to be able to decompose these problems and start to think independently to do so. Also, and something that you guys struggled a little bit at the beginning, it's not masters anymore. Nobody will tell you, you have an exam next week, you have an exam in 2 weeks. No, it's up to you guys to organize the time, and that's very important. So try to come up with an agenda or Google Calendar or something like that, and plan ahead. Plan what you will do on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, such that you get used to time management. This is going to be crucial whenever you go outside the PhD. Deadlines are going to become your everyday life. So trying to be able to organize deadlines is very important. And of course, meeting people, networking in conferences or at UPC level is also very important, and is most likely for the next step. If you want to apply for a faculty or an industry position, networking is going to be crucial. Okay. And then finally, what after the PhD? Well, that's very personal. For example, a typical academic career path would be I take 3-4 years to do the PhD, I come up with some publications, and that allows me to go to the next phase, which is a postdoc. Sometimes you need a second postdoc, which is 2-3 years, or maybe sometimes you don't need a second postdoc, and you can directly jump into a stable position as a faculty, or maybe you decide to go back to industry, or whatever you want. But as you can see, once you finish a PhD, it's not the end of this life. Then you have to go through some other steps to somehow jump into a stable position that then it's more or less what you expected for. For example, a summary in terms of UPC, PhDs that finish, 46% go to industry, 34% stay in academia, and then 20% go to research institutes. Okay, this has changed a lot in the past 10-15 years, but now is the trend also at the European level. And that's, so what I'm trying to say is that PhD is not just for academia. PhD is to gain unique skills that then you can apply in industry, or if you want, you can stay in academia or in a research center. Okay, and then what can you do once you finish a PhD? Imagine that you want to do a postdoc. So if you want to do a postdoc, maybe it's not the time now, but just for you guys to know that there are fellowships that you can apply at the Catalan level, at the Spanish level, and at the European level. And also there's also like projects that hire postdocs. So once you reach year 3 or 4, while you are working on finishing your thesis, also dedicate some time to see what's out there and be somehow ready to submit to some of these fellowships. This is just some ideas. There is much more out there. For example, in my case, I did not have a fellowship. I went directly to a project in the US. That's another option. Okay, and there's always time to go back and forth with these postdoctoral fellowships. Remember, at the Catalan level, Spanish, and European level. And with that, let me finish with a quote now from Nelson Mandela, which he said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And that's really true. Remember this from today. What you will be able to do in 4 years is far beyond what you can do right now. Okay? So enjoy the PhD, and let's go for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luis. I think this was very inspiring. And we are now finishing. There's 2 important things for you before finishing. This QR code, please scan it because it's to get the certificate of attendance for today's session. So scan it and fill in the forms that is in there so we can send you the QR code. Yeah. And while you are scanning, as I was saying, it is our aim that you do a successful PhD thesis and try to enjoy also this time. So try to use the tools that were provided. And now this year we have this is the first year we do this. We have a special surprise for you together with UPC Arts. I see you are all writing, so I will allow you for a few moments to see. Okay, I go back to the previous one. Someone could not scan. Okay, are you mostly done? Not yet? Okay. Okay, while you finish entering your data, I want to introduce a surprise. So now we will have half an hour of break, so you can go for coffee and then come back. But we have a surprise for you. This is the first time we have this. And the idea is that you use this coffee time to meet your peers. So we have prepared a quiz. And that's the rules for the quiz. So the idea is that you find 3 other candidates, 3 other PhD candidates from here, from your field. So someone that could be maybe working in your school, in your department, in your campus, and make a team of 4. And then as you leave, collect one sheet of paper that we'll give you with a very simple quiz. And when you come back after, complete it together. When you come back after coffee, there will be a special prize for each of you that we will send via email. And the fastest teams, the two that submit, the two that have best results in replying the contest, they will get an additional special prize. So there's a prize for all the teams and another for you. So yeah, with this, well, just in case you are not sure where your program is to find peers from similar areas, these are the different doctoral programs in the 5 different fields. So now, yeah, it's time for coffee. Please be back here at 5 to 12 and find your peers. Thank you very much. Sí, pero yo... Ay.